Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel Coders Arcade. This tutorial will be regarding a new concept in our playlist, and the concept is locators in Selenium. Okay, so this video is going to be the first part of our entire tutorial on locators in Selenium. Okay, before starting this video, I would like to request all of you to please like and share our videos with your friends and family, and also thanks a lot for supporting us till now and in the future obviously. At the same time, if you really like our channel, our videos, do post your comments in the comment section and like our videos, and at the same time please don't forget to subscribe to our channel Chorus Arcade and hit the bell icon, especially so that you receive notifications regarding our latest updates. Thank you. So let's get started. As I said, today's topic will be the first part of locators in Selenium. So what are locators in Selenium? That is very important to know before we even start with the tutorial. Okay. So I have a PPT for you guys. You can see here. See, when I talk about locators in Selenium, locators are actually the building blocks of any web page. Okay. So whenever we are talking about automation, or writing any test case on automation, we are trying to automate our website, right? We are trying to write automation test cases on web pages. So how do we actually locate all the web elements? Fine, suppose let me go to a website. Say this is google.com. Here I have this Gmail option. Let me zoom it. So I need to click on this. Okay. Manually, if I do this, this is manual testing. But when I do it through automation, that becomes automation, or automation test cases have to be written in order to click on this link. Or maybe it is this images, or maybe I have to do something in this search box, right? Or suppose I have to click on this Google search, or maybe this I am feeling lucky button. So these web elements are uniquely identified with the help of locators. Okay, that is very important. That thing you have to understand. Okay, let's go back to the PPT again. So you can see the first definition. Selenium locators are the building blocks of any type of Selenium automation script. Okay. So locators actually help us identify each unique web element in the DOM, or the document object model. So if I be precise about that, okay, suppose here I am in my google.com web page. This is the home page. Suppose if I right click here and inspect, okay, here you can see, let me close this part. This is not required. Yeah. If you see here in the elements tab down, okay, guys, sometimes you might not be getting it here. What you can do is you have these three dots here. If you click on this, either you will get it on the right side, or you can get it on the left side here, as you can see. But at the same time, you can also get it on the bottom part of your screen. This is what I actually like, because it gives me a proper control on selecting the web elements. Okay, so suppose I want to check this link. This is a link, right? Gmail is a link. If I click on it, it will go to Gmail. If I click on images, it will go to the images page. Similarly, for identifying these elements, we have locators. Those web elements will be identified with the help of unique identities, which are known as locators in Selenium. Be it Java, be it Python, be it C Sharp, whatever language you are going to use, in order to communicate with the website or this web page, we need locators, because those locators will help us to communicate or click on this particular links. Okay, so suppose if I want to click on Gmail, please remember that we have to go to this arrow or the control here. If you see here, it becomes blue in color. See, I'm hovering my mouse over that. Then you have to click on this. Then you will uniquely identify this. There are many ways of identifying a particular web element. Okay, so it can be any one out of these which I have in the PPT for you to see. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is locator now. So locators actually uniquely identify each web element inside a particular web page. Okay, so With the help of those locators, we can easily interact with those elements of a particular web page. Suppose I'm talking about a button. In order to click on that button, I need to uniquely identify that particular button, right? So that will be done by that particular locator. Okay. And one more very important thing that I want to tell you here is, if we do not select our locators properly, and suppose we have a very big test suite, and by mistake our locators are not identified properly, then all our test cases will fail, and in turn the whole suite will fail. That will be a catastrophe, right? We don't want that to happen to our test case or our test suite altogether. In that case, these locators that I am talking about will help you to very easily interact with all the web elements. Okay. So these locators in Selenium, actually, to be precise and to be very straightforward, help you to directly interact with each individual web element of the web page. Okay. And let me tell you one more story here so that you can easily remember that. Okay. Suppose you are a postman of any area or locality. Okay. Suppose you have to deliver a particular letter or a post to any particular address. In that kind of scenario, you have to uniquely know or identify that person's address, which may have certain properties, like suppose that person's name of the apartment, then it will be suppose any block of that particular apartment. Then you need to go to that floor of the particular apartment or the building where that person is residing or staying. Then you need to go to that particular house number or door number, right? That is very, very important. So just like the postman delivers the letters to a particular unique address, in order to interact with a particular web element in the web page, you have to identify using particular locators. Okay. That is the role of a locator in Selenium. Now I guess you have understood it properly. Let's get back to the PPT now. Okay. So based on the definitions that I've given, locators in Selenium are of many types. Let us see the types here. You can see we have ID, we have name, we have class name, we have link text, we have partial link text, we have tag name, we have CSS selector, and last but not the least, one very important is the XPath. Okay. So these are some of the very important locators that we have in Selenium: ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text, tag name, CSS selector, and XPath. Okay. As I said, this will be the first part of the entire tutorial. So in this part, I will be talking about the ID, the name, the class name, the link text, the partial link text, and the tag name. Okay. In the next second part, I will be telling you about how we can use the CSS selector. And in the third part of this tutorial, I will be talking a little bit about XPath so that you can get a proper knowledge on how we can use different types of locators for different web elements. Fine. So let us go back to our project that we created earlier, and here you can see this was our last program that we had written. We automated the Firefox browser, right? Now, this is a package, browser automations. Now I will create one more package. Let me close all this programs that are open. And finally, let me create one more package called Locators in Selenium. Okay. So I will put all the programs inside this. So as I said, in this first part, I will talk about 6 locators. Those are ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text, tag name. Okay. So let us see one by one all of them. So right click, let me create a new Java class inside that particular package. Say ID. Okay. I'm simply writing ID so that you can understand what we're going to do here. Okay. So first thing first, I need to write static web driver. So I'm creating a static WebDriver instance. If you don't know about this, I suggest you please go back to the earlier videos of this playlist, refer them and understand, and then you can come back and continue learning from here. Okay, so I'm having the main method here. Let me delete the earlier space here. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do here is we have to tell Selenium about the location of our browser driver. So suppose we are automating the Chrome browser. So what I will do, I will just say system.setProperty. Here I will pass webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay, this is the first argument. The second argument is the location of the Chrome driver.exe file. You can see it is here. So as we have done earlier, I will do it for this one also. I will say dot forward slash, which means the current project, and then I will say drivers slash Chrome driver dot exe. Okay, this is the path to that particular browser driver because we are automating the Chrome browser. Now, so I will first have to instantiate the web driver to a particular driver. I will use the new keyword and call the constructor of the Chrome driver. Okay, so this is done. If you are new to this, I suggest you please go back to the playlist and the other videos, then you can follow this easily. Okay, then let me maximize the window. So driver.manage.window.maximize. Okay, and now let us go to a particular URL, driver dot. Suppose we are going to Facebook. Okay, here I am writing something, say https colon double forward slash www.facebook.com. Okay, and let's foresee. Okay, for all the different locators I'm going to use different URLs. Okay, so that you can relate them and it will be easy for you to test or automate different websites. So I'm trying to take different URLs. Okay, so let me run this for the time being. Let's see what we are getting here. Okay, it's running. Yeah, maximized, and you can see it has opened facebook.com. Okay, right now, as I said, locators will help us identify different web elements. So you can see this is a web element, the email address or phone number field, the password field, and then we have the login button. We have forgotten password option, and we have create new account option. Okay, we have all this. So suppose I am trying to automate and I'm trying to send some text into this particular text box. Okay, so this is the email text box. As I told you earlier, you can see it has been automated by our Selenium test. So let me right click this and inspect this, and let me put it down because I feel comfortable doing it here. Fine, as I said, in order to inspect this we have to click on this selector or inspector. It has to become blue here, as you see. Then here I have to click on this. Okay, as I said, the first one is ID. So as soon as I click on this, you can see I am getting ID here. Okay, so whenever we click on this and inspect any particular web element, then automatically you can see it gets highlighted in blue color. Let me just zoom it a little bit so that it becomes easy for you to see this. Fine, you can see here the ID is email. Okay, that's what I got here. So I will use this. You can take any attribute from the DOM. This is called the DOM or the document object model. Okay, so you can take any attribute. As I told you, we have particular locators. So for the time being, I am taking the ID attribute. Okay, let me copy this email attribute. Let me minimize this, go back to our project again, and here I am. So after that, let me just use some sleep. So thread dot sleep, we already know this, right? So let me wait for 2 seconds, and let me add a exception to the method signature. That means a throws declaration. And finally, find element, we call the by class in Selenium. You can see If we say by, we get all the locators that we have here. Say class name, class name, CSS selector, ID, link text name. So as I said, I will be using the ID for the time being. And I told you it will be by dot ID, right? And the ID, as we have copied from the earlier part, it is email. Okay. So as we see here, this is the automated web page. Here I want to send some keys or text into this email text box, right? So we are not going to click this. You should understand this, guys. Whenever we are encountering any text box, we have to fill that text box with some data, some text, some numbers, something, right? So here we are not going to click this. We are going to send some keys. So we, based on that result, we just say dot and we use the send keys method, okay? And you can see it is asking for some particular characters. So suppose I am writing coders target, okay? Fine. So let me run this now. So our target is we are opening facebook.com, maximizing the browser, waiting for 2 seconds, and in the email text box, we are trying to send some characters, which is coders arcade. Okay. Let me run this now. You can see it's going there, and yeah, after waiting for 2 seconds, you can see it has successfully typed coders arcade onto the screen. So that's what, guys, that is about the ID. Okay, so now this is done. Secondly, let us talk about the second one, which is the name. Okay, so for that, let me create one more class, say name. I'm just writing name so that it becomes relevant and you can understand that. And let me just do one thing. I don't want to keep on typing the same thing again and again. So what I'm going to do, I'm copying the same thing here. Okay, just I will change the URL so that you can understand that. I'm pasting it here. Okay, so everything is same, so I'm just keeping it like that. And now let me just do one thing. Suppose this time around I am trying to automate google.com. Okay, www.google.com. Okay, so obviously in that case this will not work. So I will remove this and let me run this now. Let us first go to google.com. Okay, yeah, you have successfully seen that this is opening google.com. Okay, suppose I want to type something onto this particular search box, and let me then inspect this, right click and inspect. Okay, it's coming here on the side. Let me bring it to the bottom. Okay, now I'm fine. So I will use the selector here and click on this particular search box. Okay, if you see here, the name here for this particular search box is q. Okay, this is the particular one, name equal to q. If you see here, this is the name attribute. I'll just copy this, or let me remember this for the time being. Let me minimize this as well. So here, after that, we will just call the driver instance, driver dot find element. I will say by dot, this time it will be name, and the name that we copied was small q. Let me paste it here. Okay, and here also we want to send some keys, right? So dot send keys, and suppose I am trying to say coders arcade. Okay, so let us run this and check if it is happening or not. Okay, you can see it's open Google, and in the search box it has typed coders arcade. If you see here, yeah, this is working. So we have used the name locator in Selenium and identified this unique search box with the help of the name locator and sent the keys coders arcade. So it is also successful. So let me close this and minimize this. So we have already seen the ID and the name, right? Let's now go back to the third one, which is the class name. Okay, let me create one more class here, new Java class. Say this will be for class name, and press enter. Let me copy the earlier stuff from here. Okay, Control C, because I don't want to repeat everything again and again, because we should focus on the concept. Okay, now we had done this earlier, right? In the other one. So here I will just say driver dot find element by dot class name. This time we will pass the class name here. Okay. So let's go back to our browser, and suppose we are trying to go to Gmail here. Okay. Let me right click and inspect this first of all. Let me bring it down, and with the help of the selector, let me go to click on this. Okay, let me maximize this here. Okay, so again I'm going to the selector, clicking on Gmail, and now you can see gb underscore j. This is the name of the class. Okay, so let us try to inspect this and try to click on this. Okay, let us try to automate this. So what I'm trying to do, I'm going to Google and trying to go to this particular link, Gmail. Okay, so let me paste this here, and this time it will be dot click, right? Okay, because we are trying to click on a particular link. So right click, run this. Okay, it's open Google, and let's see if it's able to open. Yes, you can see here it has clicked on Gmail, and we are on a different page, the Gmail page. Okay, so it has successfully worked. Now let us go to the next one, which is link text. Okay, so let me just go back here, and let us do one thing. Let us open facebook.com and press enter. Okay, we are here. Now what I want to do is, I want to click on this particular link. Suppose I have forgotten my password. So what do I do now? So as it is for the earlier part, we have to inspect this. Clicking on inspect, and let me bring it down here. So again I'll click on the selector and then click on forgotten password. This is a link, right? So we have a text for this. If you see here, the text is forgotten password with a question mark. Okay. So let me copy this text. Always remember, guys, whenever we have href, that is a link. Okay. So href is always a link, and then it will take you to some other page. Okay. So I am copying this particular link text because that is the next selector or locator which I am going to teach you about. Fine, I'm copying this, going back, and now let us simply do one thing. Let us create one more new Java class, say link text. Okay, and let me do one thing. Let me go to my ID program and let me copy this stuff. Okay, because I will be going to automate the same page, which is Facebook. So let me remove this, and let me say driver dot find element by dot link text, and I will paste here the link text that we copied earlier. Let me paste it here. This is the particular link text, and this time also we are going to click on that, right? So dot click. Fine, this is done. So let's see if we are successfully able to click on that particular link or not. Right click, run this. It is going to Google, going to Facebook, and let's see if it has. Yes, it has clicked, and see, you are on a different page, and we have successfully clicked on the forwarding password link. Okay, now the next one. Suppose we are trying to use the next locator, which is partial link text. That means, let me do one thing. Let me create one new class. Here I will say partial link text, and as normally we should have the first letter capital of the class. So I'll keep it like that. Press enter, and let me copy the entire thing from here because I need this stuff. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, Just like we tried to get the entire link text, this time around I will use the partial link text. Okay, so if I show you here, let me delete this particular full link text, and here I'm just saying password, and let me delete this and say here partial link text. Okay, so this time this link text is partial. Okay, this is not the full link text like forgotten password. Here we have only password. Let's see now we are able to click it or not. Okay, so right click, run here. So it is opening Facebook. Let's see if it is clicking or not. Yes, it is again successfully clicking. So guys, please remember link text is the entire link text that we have for any link, and partial link text is any part of the link text that we have for any link. Okay. So link text will be the full text and partial link text will be any part of that. That part should be meaningful and it should be able to uniquely identify that particular web element. Okay. So this is done. Now after that, let's go to the last one which I am going to show you in this first part of the tutorial, and then in the second part we will go on with the CSS selectors, and then we will have the other stuff in the next parts. Okay, the last locator in this tutorial will be tag name. Okay, so let's try to automate that and see that. For that I have a URL for you guys, which is this particular one. Okay, so you should be a little bit careful while working on this. Let me just open that particular one again, and here let me show you that one. Okay, so this is it, accounts.lambdatest.com/login, and this website is a little bit unique. If you can see here, there is one image. Okay, and if I inspect this and show you, then only you will understand something like this. You already know what is a tag, right? It can be a div tag. Anyone who has learned HTML, they will know about the tags. We use tags while writing the HTML document. So HTML close tag, open tag, there will be a body tag, there will be break tag, there will be bold tag, there will be input tag, span tag, all these are called tags. So how can we uniquely identify a web element with the help of any tag? Let me show you that. Okay. So first of all, let me take this down here. And now I'm going to inspect this particular image or the icon here. Okay. So if you see here, let me zoom it a little bit so that you can understand. Let me again inspect this. Okay, so if you see here, I have a tag called img. Okay, and then with the help of this img tag, I am going to read or fetch the alternate text inside this particular image tag. Okay, if I just show you here, the alternate text is lambda test. If you see here, the alt text is lambda test. I want to fetch this and show it to you in the console. Okay, so for that we need the tag which is img. Please remember that. Okay, so let me go back here and create a new class. This time I will say tag name. Okay, because we are trying to interact with the web element with the help of the tag name locator. Fine. So let me do one thing. Let me copy some part of the code from here. Okay, at least till here I have to copy. Control C, let me pass it here. Fine. So I need one more curly bracket. Yeah, that's done. So if I say driver.get, here I have to pass the URL. Let me go back to my browser and I'll copy this particular URL again. Go back here and paste it here. Okay. After that, let me just say, okay, let me tell you something interesting here. What we are doing here is we have been interacting with all the locators for a long time. So right now you can see here we had ID, we had name, we had class name, we had link text, partial link text. Now we are into the tag name. Till the time being, we haven't stored the data into any variables, right, or objects. Now let me show you how we can do that. So I will call a special interface in Selenium, which is the web element, which helps us to store the data of any particular web element inside it. Okay, so let me give the name called image is equal to, here I will say driver dot find element by dot, this time it will be tag name. Okay, and the tag name was, as we remember, img. The name was img, right? Here I don't want to interact with it right away. I just want to store the information inside this. Okay, so after that, as I say here, if you go back and see here, the alternative text for that particular image was lambda test, right? I want to read that and print that onto my terminal or console. Okay, so what I will do is s out, I will say image dot get attribute, and the attribute for that particular image tag I want alt. So this should successfully give me the lambda test text, and then I will finally quit all my driver instances. Okay, so driver dot quit, because you can see here I have opened so many tabs here. Okay, so right click and let me run this. Okay, it is opening Google Chrome and opening Lambda test, and it is closing. And if you see here on my terminal or console, I have that alt text which is Lambda test. So finally guys, we have successfully fetched the attribute for the alt, which is Lambda test. If you can see in the console, this is Lambda test. Let me run it again for you. Right click, run this. It opens the Google Chrome browser, opens Lambda test, and finally closes it after printing this onto the console, the Lambda test. Okay, so it's working successfully. So with this, we have come to the end of the first part of the tutorial here, guys. So we have finished ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text, and tag name, the six locators. In the next part of the tutorial, I will talk about the CSS selectors. That is also one very important concept in locators in Selenium. And then in the third part, I will talk about web element locator strategies, like how actually you have to select which web element, how to fetch a web element from another web element, and so on. And then we will talk about relative locators in the fourth part. Okay, so that's it from this video. I hope you have liked it. If you really like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. And at the same time, please don't forget to hit the bell icon, because that will give you notifications regarding our further updates. Thank you. This is Saurabh signing off. Till the next tutorial, bye bye and take care.